Hey guys, Lindsay here with LINROU blog, and today I am going to be showing you a demo of the makeup that I'm going to be doing on myself on my wedding day. And I don't want to call this like a tutorial because first and foremost, I am not a makeup artist. I just like playing with makeup. I think it's fun. I watch a whole bunch of tutorials and I've taught myself a lot over the past year in preparation for my wedding day, but I am not a makeup artist. So I kind of have an idea in mind of what I want to do. So we'll see if I can put that on my face and recreate it the way that I want it to turn out. Also, it is pretty early. I meant to start filming this earlier, but it has just been like a lazy morning for me, which has been so nice because my bachelorette party is this weekend and it's Friday through Sunday. All of my cousins and my best friend and my future sister-in-law are gonna be there and it's gonna be so much fun, but it is early and as you can tell, there's nothing on my face. We haven't done anything yet, so it is time to transform this face before your very eyes. So we're gonna start out, I always use a headband just to get my hair out of my face. This is one of those weird ones, like there's so much cloth on this because I guess it's supposed to like double as a scarf, but I'm like, who would ever? Like, why would you wear this as a scarf? I don't know. Okay, just as long as our hair is out of our face, we're good. And my mirror is over here, so I'm gonna be looking over here a lot, so don't feel like I'm ignoring you or something. I'm just looking in the mirror. Okay, so hair is out of our face. Next, I like to start with a little bit of moisturizer. This, I actually just get it at Fry's. It's Kroger brand, but I think it is a dupe for the Aveeno moisturizer, and I can't tell a difference. This is just cheaper, but it's great. And this one's called It's Glow Time. And I think the original one is called like Radiant something. But just take a little dollop of that, put it all over my face. Okay. And then I also go in with a little bit of this Kiehl's Youth Dose Eye Treatment. I use this every morning and every night. I actually did a promotion for this product a while back on my Instagram. I took some pictures for Kiehl's for this product, and this is the exact same one that they sent me, and that was a few months ago, and it says that there's only 0.5 fluid ounces in here, but this has lasted me a long time, and I'm still probably only halfway done with it. There's a lot left in here. So you just take 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 little dots on each side, and then rub that in. And as you guys can tell, oh my god, it has been so stressful planning this wedding because we're pretty much doing a 100% DIY wedding. We're getting married at my grandma's house. It's in a like pasture in her backyard. It's gonna be beautiful, but we pretty much had to start 100% from scratch, and it has been a lot. Like, if I would have known how much work it actually was going to be, I probably would have opted for either a venue or a wedding planner, honestly. And I know it's gonna turn out great, but it has been so much work and so much stress. For a while there, I was so stressed out, and I normally am the type to just get like hormonal breakouts, like, you know, that time of the month, and just like a couple here and there. I'd never have more than like 2 zits on my face at one time. But about a month ago, I was so stressed out that out of nowhere, my entire face was just covered in zits. And you can still kind of see the scars from where they were all healing up. But I probably had over 20 zits on each cheek, on my chin, on my forehead. Like, everything was breaking out, like painful large zits everywhere, and that has never happened before. So I was kind of freaking out about that, thinking that I might look like that on my wedding day, but for the most part it's clearing up, so I'm happy about it. But anyways, next I'm going to go in with this primer. This is the Benefit Professional Primer, and I love this one because, especially right now, but normally, even without acne, I have quite a bit of texture in my skin. So this goes in and just fills it all in really nicely. Just take a little dab of that, rub it all over, and then our skin is good to go. We are ready for our foundation. So here's the other thing. Because I am not a beauty guru. I am not a makeup artist. A lot of the things that I do are probably not correct. Probably not like the way I'm supposed to do them, but they're the ways that work for me, and they're just kind of habits of things that I've done forever, so don't judge me. So I start out, and I'm a big fan of mixing foundations in order to get either the shade or the consistency that you want. But on the actual day of my wedding, I'm probably going to just use this. This is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in shade Warm Nude. Right now, this by itself is too dark for me. I normally have pretty fair complexion, and this by itself is a little bit too tan, but on the day of my actual wedding, I will have a spray tan, and this matches that perfectly. So on the day of, I will be using only this, but on a day-to-day, I actually mix it with this L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation in shade Porcelain Light Ivory. Mixed together, not only do I get a nice in-between shade, a mix of both of these, but I really love this because it's super hydrating, and I tend to have pretty dry skin, so it kind of adds a nice like moisturizing effect to this one. So I just use my hand as a palette. I take a squirt of this, a squirt of this, and then I take this little teeny tiny brush I have. I got this at Sally's a while ago. Don't ask me what it's actually supposed to be used for. But then I mix it all together. And then we have a nice in-between shade on our little palm palette here. So then, like I said, I don't know if anybody else does this. I don't know if this is correct, but this is what I do. I take what's already on my brush and on my hand, and I just start to apply it on the face where it seems like it is most needed. And I know, this teeny little tiny brush probably is not the most efficient way to do this, but I like it because I can like really specifically distribute makeup exactly where I want it and then go out and blend it out from there. And it's not like we have to like cover everything right now, because obviously we're going to blend it all out. It's just want to make sure you have enough. And that looks pretty good to me. So there is some left on my hand. So what I do is I just go in and wipe off the excess on my neck. So then I will blend it all together so my face matches my neck and my neck matches my face. So now that that's all distributed, we're going to take our beauty blender. And don't judge me, I normally wash these about once a week, but I am planning a wedding, okay? I don't have time to do all the normal things I would normally do at the times I'd normally do them, and I'm sorry, but lesson is wash your brushes, wash your tools, because it's very important. Normally this little guy is a lot cleaner, but not today. But I take my beauty blender. This one is from Real Techniques. It's my favorite one. And then I'm gonna take my Urban Decay Quick Fix setting spray and spray that flat edge, and then just go in and spread out all the product on my face. This is like the most satisfying part. But yeah, seriously, that's like this dirty beauty blender. That's just my excuse for everything now, is I'm planning a wedding. Like, why are you late? We've been waiting here like an hour. I'm planning a wedding. Or, why didn't you text me back? I texted you like 3 times, you never texted me back. I'm planning a wedding. Sorry, okay? Everything is just hard right now, including washing my sponges. I'm just warning y'all right now. If you're engaged, like, ask for help. Do not be afraid to ask for help and delegate things to other people. Don't feel like you have to do it all yourself, and don't feel like it all has to be perfect down to every single little detail, because in the end you're not even going to remember what freaking color the table runners were, or exactly what twinkle lights you ordered for this thing over here, and like that stuff does not matter. Like, in the end, you're getting married, and don't sweat the small stuff. That's my advice. Actually, even better advice. Take all the money and go to the courthouse and then go on a badass vacation instead. But no, really, it's gonna be good. It just was a little stressful for a while. So anyways, now we have our foundation all blended out, and I'm going to go in with some concealer. I use the Tarte Shape Tape concealer. This is the holy grail, but I'm gonna be kind of extra right now because I can be, because I just happen to have two different shades here. I have Fair Neutral, the lighter shade, and Light Neutral, a little bit darker shade. I got this originally for when I'm just using that darker foundation, because this one was a little bit too light by itself. But since I'm in an in-between right now, I'm gonna mix and match a little bit, because I like to use this lighter guy on areas that I want to be highlighted. So under eyes, I do a dab on my forehead, very light stripe down the center of my nose, and then some on my chin. So those are my highlight areas. Those are areas that I just want to cover some ground, make them look a little bit lighter than the rest of my face. Now I'm gonna go in with this darker shade and do some spot concealing on those areas where I'm having some issues. And the reason I want to use this shade that's closer to my foundation shade for this is because I don't really want it to stand out. I notice when I use just this same light color all over places that need concealed, like on my cheeks here, it starts to look a little bit funky, and I start to look a little bit like washed out in all one shade. And the point of these highlighted areas is to give your face some dimension. So I'm just using this shade that's close to my foundation shade to add just a little bit of extra coverage to those problem areas. So now that's on, we're gonna grab our beauty blender again. It's still damp from earlier, and then we're just gonna blot it all out. All right, that's all on. I'm looking like a ghost. I'm looking super flat, but that's okay. We're gonna go back and fix it later. So now I'm going to bake. I use this RCMA No Color powder, and then I just use a little wedge sponge like this. Jaclyn Hill swears by this, or at least she used to. I don't know if she still loves it as much, but she used to swear by this. That's where I got it from. And one thing she mentions is that the bottle is a pain in the butt to use, which is true. Like, you just kind of have to shake it and get all this product on the top and just hope it doesn't go everywhere. Like, hold your breath so it doesn't go everywhere. But I just take my little sponge, dab it, get it like really thick on the sponge, and then go in and apply it on really thick underneath my eyes so we can bake. And I mean, some people I've seen, they'll bake like their contour like right here, or some people will bake their entire face, but for me it ends up looking kind of harsh when I do that. So I stick to just doing my under eyes, and it leaves me with a really nice flawless finish type look. Like I said, I'm putting it on thick. The way Jaclyn Hill described it once is that literally your body temperature gets trapped between your skin and the powder on top, and then it literally bakes your concealer onto your skin. I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds cool. Seems like it works. So now here we are, looking like a backwards raccoon. It's all over my hand. Like, what did I say? This applicator or top lid, it sucks. But then this is one of those moments where I'm kind of backwards and don't, oops, my camera ran out of storage, so I had to go delete some shit. So anyways, the next step I typically do is pretty out of order. So like I said, I'm not a beauty guru, but what I do next is I take my mascara and I put it on my top lashes, and I will tell you why. I do this now because I like it to fully dry by the time I'm done with all of my makeup, and then I'll curl my lashes, which I know all of this is so backwards. Most people wait to the end, curl their lashes, put the mascara on, and that's just how you do it. But for me, that has never worked for me. It's like when you curl your hair and then you get it wet. Your hair's not curled anymore. So I put the mascara on now so it can get totally dry by the end of my entire routine. And then at the end, we will go back and curl them. So we're just doing a thin layer just to get it on there and get it drying. Okay, got some mascara on, and now we are going to move on to brows. And this is so sad, but I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz pencil in caramel, but look, it's missing its little spoolie end. It broke off. I took it somewhere and then pulled it out of the bag, and it was in 2 separate pieces. I said, no! But anyways, so I use this, and then I just use this other spoolie brush that I have over here to brush them out. So take your Brow Wiz. And my brows are looking a little bit crazy right now. They definitely need a good tweezing, but I kind of am letting them grow out a little bit just because I want there to be enough hair for me to be able to pluck. Basically, I don't want to pluck them all now and then come the wedding day have a whole bunch of like little baby hairs sticking out that are too short for me to grab. So I'm going to take my spoolie brush and just brush all that product around. Blends it all together, get it all over all the hairs. And there's one brow, and I didn't really talk you through that, so I'll kind of walk you through this next one. So I like to start with the bottom line of my brows and really get that shaped. Then I'll fill in the whole tail, I'll fill in this whole middle section, and then I'll do little like hair-like strokes at the front really lightly, just to try and make it look a little bit more natural. So we're gonna start. Take that line all the way across the bottom of my brow. Made it to the corner. So now we're gonna shape that tail and fill it in. And then slowly make our way up towards the center of the brow. And then once we get to the center of the brow here, that's where I do super light upward strokes to kind of try and imitate the look of brow hairs. And as you can see, it's not nearly as dark or as heavy-handed as I did over here. Okay, so there's it filled in. We're gonna take our spoolie brush and really brush it out to get a nice, softer, natural look. Okay, now here's the magic part that I love. I'm gonna take my concealer, and I am gonna use the lighter shade just because this is another area that I kind of want to have highlighted. And then I'm gonna take this flat brush and apply just the teeniest bit to one side of it. You really don't want too much with this. So I applied some to that little flat brush, and then we're gonna carve out the bottom of the brow. So now we have like a really nice straight line of concealer right there under the brow, and then you just blend that down your lid, and then we do the other side. Apply some more to the brush and go in with a nice straight, and then just blend everything down. Okay, got our concealer underneath our brow bone, and now we are going to start putting on eyeshadow. And I'm gonna start with the Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. Say that 5 times fast. I just take the teeniest little dab on my finger. If you have more than literally like this much on your finger, it's just way too much product for your teeny little eyelid. So then you can see the concealer that is on my eye kind of creased up a little bit. So I'm just gonna put this on and kind of mix that together. So we're gonna have like a concealer slash primer base for our shadow. I don't know, I just make this stuff up as I go. And then you have a nice like tacky, almost sticky surface for your shadows to stick to. Do it on the other eye. We'll let that set up for a second and I'll tell you about the shadows I'm going to use. So a while back I got this Too Faced Natural Eyes palette and I've used it a lot, so it's not as pretty as it used to be. I apologize. Most of my products are pretty dirty and gross, but that's okay. First of all of Too Faced products smell so good. It smells like, I don't know if this one is supposed to smell like peaches because they do have a peaches line, but this one smells like chocolate to me. I don't know, so I love that it smells good every time I open it. But it's a nice neutral palette. They got a couple of shimmer shades, couple mattes in there, and I use this almost every day. And I have decided that I'm also going to use this on my wedding day, which I wanted to go originally for more of like a lilac, like plum eye look. And so I had bought the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Bling Boss palette because it is really pretty as well and has a lot of purple shades. But I don't know, after using it a little bit, it just didn't wow me like this Too Faced one does. Like, I like this and I still use this, but for my wedding day, I decided I actually want to go for kind of a rosy, warm look. So rather than just being like a warm, smoky eye, I want to add a little bit of like a rosy, shimmery element to it. So this Too Faced palette is perfect for that. We are going to start out with Heaven. That's the matte white shade up in the top corner here. I'm going to take a really like fluffy, almost blending brush like this. I don't really know the technical names of brushes that much, but this, I think it's a blending brush, but we're going to use it to just lightly apply some of Heaven all over my lid. Okay, so we got white all over our lids. I'm going to take another fluffy brush, which I got these on Amazon. They are Quivange. Quivange, Quivange is the brand, and they were super inexpensive. I want to say they were definitely under $20, and I probably got like 15 eye brushes. But honestly, I'm not like an expert, but these are the best brushes that I have used so far. And I even got some of the Morphe brushes like for my bridal shower, which some of them are okay, but some of them are so coarse and brittle and I just don't like how they feel on my face. Some of their eye brushes are okay though, but their face brushes I don't like. But these ones off Amazon, this Quivange brand, they're super inexpensive. You would never know that they were that good, but I love them. They're so soft and they work amazing. So I'm gonna take one of these fluffy Quivange brushes and go in with the shade Strip Poker. It's this nice light warm brown that you can tell I use a lot. So I just put a little bit of that on my brush and I'm going to put this in my crease. And this has always been a challenge for me, but the goal for me is to kind of lift my eyes because I kind of have big like doe eyes, and if I don't do some lifting, I feel like they can start to look like sad and droopy. So I really want to kind of like do an upward motion with this shadow in the crease, kind of wing it a little bit. And then I'll go into the corner a little bit just to kind of use up the rest of the product that's on my brush and blend it out a little bit. We're going to call that good for our crease color. Then I'm going to take the same brush because the next color is very similar to this color, but it's called Cashmere Bunny. It's this little bit darker shade. It's kind of like a medium brown. And we're going to take that and I'm going to put this in the outer corner of my lid. And I also don't want to blend too far inward because I want to keep that lightness in my inner corner. Okay. And because it's bothering me, we're going to take a blending brush. This is actually one of the Morphe brushes. It's a blending brush and it's actually one of the ones that I like from them. It's pretty much just their face brushes that bother me. But anyways, I'm going to go in, and this one is really good at just like grabbing the shadows that are already on your lid and just kind of pushing them all together really nicely. Okay, so we've got our crease, we got our outer corner, our light browns. So I think what I'm gonna do next is take a new clean brush. This is one of the Quivange brushes. I really like fluffy brushes for applying eyeshadow, and I feel like for some of these colors and techniques I'm doing, a lot of people would prefer to do a dense, like packed brush like this, just to really pack it on. And sometimes I like that too, but I feel like I like the natural, like, I don't know, dispersed look that a fluffy brush like this gives you. So I don't know, that's just me. But I'm gonna go in with Silk Teddy. That's this nice light shimmery pink. So I'm just gonna go into my inner corner. Like I said, I wanna highlight this area. So we're gonna take this super light shimmery pink and put that on my inner corner. I'm trying to like maneuver this so you guys can see somewhat what I'm doing. Okay, so then I'm gonna take the same brush because we're in the same family, we're just doing shimmery pinks here, and I'm gonna take Push Up. That's this middle mauve-y shimmery pink shade, I don't know, and I'm gonna do this just on the center of my lid, so it will kind of blend from light pink to medium pink to what we're going to do next. Okay, so I think I got plenty of that pretty push-up color on the center of my lid. Now I'm gonna take a little bit shorter, denser brush. This is one from Morphe that I like. And we're gonna take this shade, which is called Sexpresso, and then we're gonna put this on our outer corner and kind of think of it as like where our liner would go. Oh, another note, one of the reasons I leave this bake on the entire time that I'm doing my eyeshadow is because, as you can see, you'll get fallout sometimes from a lot of different shadows you'll use, and we're gonna see some magic happen here in a minute when I take this powder off. Yeah, but just go in and kind of go along my lash line and then blend it up towards my crease, but just staying in this like outer third of my eye. Ooh, she's dark. That's okay. We'll blend. That's my motto in life. We'll blend. We'll blend it out. It's gonna be good. So I'll take my Morphe blending brush again and just smooth out those edges. Especially over here. She got real harsh over here. In fact, that side is so much harsher. I'm gonna take a little bit of strip poker on this same blending brush and use that. There we go, to really blend that brown. Okay, they aren't totally symmetrical, but that's okay. And then real quick, just because I feel like we covered up some of that push up in the center of my lid, I'm gonna take the same brush I used for my pinks, grab some more push up, reapply to the center just a little bit. Lastly, for our upper eye shadow, I'm going to take one of these Morphe brushes. It's like a super defined liner brush, and I'm actually going to use the BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette, which is full of so many bright, pretty, amazing colors, but I'm actually only going to use it for this black down here because this is the best black eyeshadow I have ever found. I did not buy this eyeshadow palette for the black, but it is so good. It's like borderline creamy, and it works great if you want to use it to substitute for liner, because for this specific look I actually don't want to use actual eyeliner because I want to keep it looking a little bit softer. So I'm going to use this brush with this BH Cosmetics black and go in to just line my eye a little bit. I'm just gonna keep it on like the outer 2/3 of my eye and make a nice tapered line there. And I feel like it's so hard to find blacks that aren't like gray. Like this is a true black. This is not a gray black. Oh no, we got somewhere it's not supposed to be. Blend it out. Life motto. That's okay. She's just trying to be a wing. She doesn't want to stay there. She doesn't want to be contained to the outer 2/3 of my eye. She's trying to break out and be a freaking wing. We ain't doing that. I ain't doing wings. That's a whole nother level of stuff I could mess up. I don't know. And like I could have hired an actual makeup artist. I would have been more than happy to do that if there was someone here that like I knew and I trusted and I really loved their style. But here in Arizona, like I don't know personally anybody who does makeup, and I'm just kind of weird about that because I know like technically they could definitely do a better job than I am doing, but everybody has a different style, and I've just heard horror stories of people looking like, I don't know, like Ratchet Barbie like on their big day, and I just didn't want that to happen. Like I know there's people out there who would do a fantastic job, but I just didn't really want to chance it. So I spent all this time teaching myself how to do better makeup, and I'm just gonna do what I like, and I don't know, I think it'll turn out. That's why we're doing this, is a practice run, so we'll see how it goes. Now we have all of our shadows applied, so we're finally gonna wipe off the bake, and I'm gonna show you guys this magic because we usually get a lot of fallout. This is a lot more fallout than I usually ever have, but this is the awesome thing about leaving your powder on under your eyes while you're doing your shadow, is because you take a big fluffy brush like this, and you just go wipe it away, and it's all gone. Your concealer is super duper set. It's not gonna go anywhere. It looks amazing. Look at that. All that fallout, didn't get anything left over on my cheek. It's a miracle. And wipe it away. Okie doke. So now we can move on to our under eyes. I'm gonna go back to my Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. I'm gonna take this little pencil brush from Amazon and go in with Strip Poker, that light brown again. Just put that on, like, again, the outer, like the outer half of my under eye. Outer 2/3. Just get a little bit of that nice warm brown underneath the eye to smoke it out just a little bit. But we want to keep it light down here, light and open. I can't stress enough how many times I see people make the mistake of lining, like black liner underneath the entire under eye here. And I know there's a time and a place for that, and it works on some look. It works for some looks when done correctly, but I don't think I'm one of those people who can rock it. And I see a lot of people who it just like ages them. It just closes off your eyes. It makes your eyes look so small and dark, and we want to open things up here today. I want wide, bright eyes for my big day, so we're just going really light with some of this Strip Poker down here. And I'll take this brush I used on the top lid for the brown just to blend it out a little bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna take this Maybelline Great Lash Mascara. I know this is like the OG. Everybody used this in middle school, and I still use it, but it's because it's good, okay? But I actually use this because it's a little bit older and a little bit dried out, which sounds kind of weird, but it is good for your bottom lashes because since it's not so wet anymore, it's not gonna put a ton of product down there or get clumpy or anything. Okay, last but not least, for the eyes, we're gonna use a white liner. Got this at Sally's a long time ago. Palladio is the brand. But you see me trying to dry my eyes as much as I can. I'm trying to dry off this lower waterline because I'm gonna go in with this white liner there. Because again, what did I say before? Using black on your lower lashes or your waterline can really close off the lid. Using the exact opposite is going to open it up. I've actually thought about getting like a nude colored liner too, because it will still lighten it up but look a little bit more natural than like a stark white on my bottom lid. But I kind of just wanted to see how this would look. Okay, so we are pretty much done with our eyes, so we're gonna move on to face. What I like to do first is get out my Hoola bronzer by Benefit. Normally, I would probably use the Hoola Light because, as I said, I have a pretty fair complexion, but on the actual day of, I will be using this one because I will be a little bit darker and this darker shade will work for me. So I just take their little brush and kind of carve out my cheeks a little bit, almost as if I was contouring. but it's just gonna be a really subtle way to add some dimension to my face. So I do it right along like my cheekbone there. If you were to do a kissy face, it makes like a direct line from the top of your ear down to your lips. But then I just take a little bit and put it up just around the outer like corners of my forehead, just to add some dimension up there as well. Then what I actually do is take this really light bronzer, which is again from Sally Beauty. It's Femme Couture Mineral Effects Baked Bronzer, and I have had this forever. It's probably like not even good anymore, but it works really well for me. And it's kind of lightweight and adds just a little bit of shimmer. So I take this like flathead foundation brush, get some of that bronzer on there, and then I go over the top of the Hoola bronzer and add a little bit of product and a little bit of shimmer, but main point is to just like blend it all together. Blend, 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 blend. And then just take the babyest little bit, blend out the bronzer on my forehead. Okay, and then we're all bronzed up. So I'm gonna take some blush, and again, this blush is Palladio. It's from Sally's, and I have more than hit pan on this. It's almost like gone. I've had this for so long and I use it every single day. But I take this fluffy blush brush that's also from Sally Beauty. Face Secrets is the brand, and honestly, it's not the best, I'm not gonna lie. It's just another thing I've had forever, and it's super soft. It gets the job done, but it sheds everywhere. I need a new brush, but don't judge me. But I get what I can that's left in this little teeny palette on my brush. Apply that to like the tops of my cheekbones. I like this because it's super subtle. I'm considering getting like a peachier blush though, to go with like the warmness of this look. This is a very like pink rosy blush, but I kind of want to get like a peachier shade. And as I said, you probably see all the little hairs everywhere. It sheds every time I use it, all over, but the hairs come off eventually. It's fine. So then I take my Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. Again, I've had this for a long time. I hit pan on it, but it's just so pretty. I use the Molten Rose Gold shade, which is just me, like rose gold everything. And then I take this like fanned out highlighter brush. Eco Tools is the brand. Take some kind of on the corner of the brush, and then apply that down the top of my cheekbone. Not getting too far over here, because then it just starts to look like, I don't know, you're just highlighted and shiny everywhere. Looks a little crazy. So I try to keep it just up towards the outer sides of my face. But it just adds like a nice, pretty rosy glow. It goes really well with the blush that I use. And then I just take a little bit of what's left over, dab some on my chin, take a little bit, and where my brow, or my forehead, but like where my forehead sticks out right here coming down towards my brow bone, I just take a little bit and I'll vertically go boop, and boop, just to kind of highlight right here, like those angles of my face. Take the teeniest little bit and dollop it on my end of my nose. And then I take a little bit more generous amount right on the corner of the brush. I get the Cupid's bow of my lips right here. So that's pretty much my face all done. So before we finish off with some lashes, I'm going to spray my entire face with this Urban Decay Quick Fix spray, which the original one is the Urban Decay All Nighter, and I was originally gonna go get that, but then I saw this sitting right next to it, and it says it's a Hydra Charged Complexion Prep Priming Spray, which is supposed to be better for like dry skin and it's more hydrating. So I got this one and love it. Fan it off. Dry it down all nice and even. Face is all dry, and now I'm gonna take my lash curler and curl those lashes up just a little bit. And again, just like how I didn't apply that much mascara earlier, I'm not going to worry too much about getting these like curled all the way to the sky like I normally would if I was just wearing mascara, because I'm going to be putting false lashes on over the top of this. I really just want to get a little bit of a lift on these just so they kind of match the angle of the false lashes, but they don't need to be like sticking straight up because that'd make it really difficult to apply the fake lashes anyway. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab my fake lashes. So I just use the Bridal Demi Wispies, and then I just use the Duo Brush On Adhesive with Vitamins Dark. Okay, I've got that applied pretty evenly all over the lash band. So then I just take my tweezers, I grab onto my lashes kind of in the center, and then go to apply. This is where you don't breathe. Okay, and they are on, and that part takes some practice, learning like where you want to place it, because if you get it too... Oh, guys, I am so mad. I got mid-lash and then my freaking camera decided to die on me, so I just wanted to come back and put my very last lash on. There we go. Wanted to put that lash on and finish this look off. Last but not least, we gotta do lips. I just barely got this Tarteist lip paint in the shade Exposed. I love this lipstick because it's very matte, and when it dries down, it does not move. So this is perfect because it'll be totally kiss-proof for the wedding ceremony. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna spray one more time for good measure. Alright, this is the finished look for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and go do my hair and then show you what it looks like. But thank you so much for watching. Again, I know I'm not a beauty guru, and thanks for bearing with me through all of this. But I think this turned out pretty cute, and I learned a couple of things that I want to change or maybe avoid on the actual day when I do my makeup. But let me know what you think, and let me know what you want to see next, and I'd be happy to make another video for you. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to follow me at LINROU blog on Instagram, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.